Hey YouTube, Revolution Mouse here with a deck tech. So this is a really fun deck to play, and it's a deck that's actually not too bad. It's a blue-green Infect, probably the fastest deck you can build in Standard. Has a possible turn 2 win, quite possible turn 3 win. I played at FNM tonight, 5 rounds, and I had a turn 3 win twice. No turn 2 win, but quite a bit of turn 4 wins, and then the 2 turn 3 wins. And I ended up going technically I went 3 and 2, and I could have made top 8 off that, surprisingly. But I let my friend make top 8, because I actually played against him, and yeah, I just let him make top 8. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into the deck. We have 16 creatures. They each have their advantages. We have 4 Glistener Elf, and it's really good because it's a 1-drop. 4 Blight Mamba. It's really good because removal wrecks this deck. Because you use all of your cards for like the pumping and stuff. 4 Blighted Agents, which are really good because it's unblockable, and you can get in damage really easily. And then 4 Equal Claw Mirror, which go really good with a couple of the cards in the deck, and it's just a really good like creature removal, and it's also really good with like trample effects. Yeah. And then the land base, we're running 6 islands, 8 forests, if I remember right. Yep. 4 Inkmoth. Only 3 Hinterland and Harbor, because if we get 2 lands in our hand, we don't want to have it like be like Hinterland Inkmoth. We'd rather have it be like Forest Island or like Forest Inkmoth, because then we have, you know, the turn 1 play possibly. Because we want, I don't know. I would honestly, I don't even know, like 4 is just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of clunky, and yeah, I don't know, I like 3, honestly. And then we have 1 Alchemist Refuge, which isn't that good until late game. Then you can throw in your, I don't even know, your Equal Claw Mirror, and pump it up, block a creature, and yeah, so it's a good, you know, creature removal. And then also, it's good if they tap out, and then you know, flash in a creature at the end of the turn, and then attack next turn for the win. But anyways, and actually tonight, I redid this deck afterwards. I didn't have the Blight Mambas, and I honestly would have done much better if I did. That's a definite necessary card. But anyways, we have 2 Artful Dodge, which help finish, and then it also helps with another card. 4 Titanic Growth, which sees no play except for in this deck. It's very good. 2 Gut Shots, which are often used on our own creatures, and I'll show you why in a second. 4 Mutagenic Growth, one of the centerpieces of this deck. This deck would not be good without them. 3 Ranger's Guile, and then the thing that's this deck is centered around, Wild Defiance. This card is considered a junk rare, and it's so good. It's from Avacyn. 3 costs. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of an instant or sorcery spell, that creature gets +3/+3 until the end of the turn. So I'll oftentimes Gut Shot my own creature, to give it the extra mana. And like, I love having 6 0-cost, you know, cards, because it's not too improbable to have 2 of those in your opening hand, or by the time you cast Wild Defiance. So then you can swing in for like, you know, so you have, you know, 1 of each. You could Mutagenic Growth, pump it, so then the creature is a 6/6, and then Gut Shot, so it's 9/9. And say it was a Glistener Elf, and it got in for 1 the turn before, then that's game. You know, it's just insane. And then there's 3 more cards, and that is 3 Revenge of the Hunted. This card makes it possible to have a turn 2 win. 6 cost, Miracle 1, and until the end of the turn, target creature gets +6/+6 and gains trample, and all creatures able to block it this turn do so. So that card's pretty much insane, especially for Infect. It just wrecks. I mean, it's a board wiper too. Like, if it's late game and they're about to aggro you out, you could Revenge the Hunted and force all their creatures to block yours. I mean, if say you have 1 Equal Claw Mirror out there, Acre Claw, whatever you would call it. I call it Equal Claw because it's fun to say. But if you have one equal claw mirror out there, you could swing in for 9 off just this one card, and it has trample, so then pretty much all the creatures are dead. I mean, depending on how big they are, but yeah. So that's the main deck. Sideboard, pretty simple. There's not really much you can do in this deck for sideboard. So I'm running 3 Unnatural Predation. It's really good against like some of the weenie decks. They can get out creatures pretty fast. Same with Mental Misstep. 3 Mental Missteps. 2 Gut Shot. If they're running like weenie decks, again, I'll side those in. And then so that gives it more targets for my own, and also targets for them. 2 Autumn's Veil, because it helps further removal. I'm not really too worried about counter spells, but and then 1 Viridian Corruptor. This comes in if they're using Curse of Deathhold, or if they're running artifacts, because it does have 2 toughness, so it gets around Curse of Deathhold. 1 Naturalize comes in against Curse of Deathhold, which wrecks this deck. Curse of Deathhold is this deck's nightmare. Anyways, Artful Dodge. There's literally nothing you can do against Curse of Deathhold in this deck until after sideboarding. That's probably the main weakness of this deck. I scooped one of the games when my opponent played a Curse of Deathhold. I was like, alright, good game. I scooped. And then 1 Artful Dodge. If they're running more of like a mid-range deck, it's good, you know, to finish off your opponent. And then I've used its Flashback on the same creature on the same turn because of Wild Defiance. So the Flashback is really, really good. And then we're running 1 Corrupted Conscience, which is a 5 cost. It's a mind control that gives the creature Infect. So it's really, really good against our Titans. And then Wolf Run is one of this deck's main weaknesses. Like Wolf Run, Blue-Black Control, and that's about it, really. Those are the 2 decks' two weaknesses. And then we're running 1 Necropede. This comes in against, I don't know, I only bring it in if I'm going second, and I'll side it in, like, if they're running, like, humans or something really fast, but only if I'm going second. But yeah, that's the deck. Let me know what you think. It's really, really fun to play, and, yeah, I mean, it's just super fast. I mean, I've won on turn 4 like 6 or 7 times tonight, and it was ridiculous. But yeah, this was Friday, May 24th, 25th, yeah. But yeah, let me know what you think, and rate, comment, subscribe.